Thanks, Leland. Nashville is filled with fascinating people. Taking the time to get to know many of them has been a passion for author Clayton Hansen since she moved to Music City 6 years ago. It's the subject of her latest book, introducing us to 50 Nashvillians from all walks of life, each with their own unique and fascinating story to tell. Clayton Hansen is joining us now, and thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be back.
Well, we're glad you're here, and this word of mouth series looks like it could just go on forever because Nashville's full of fascinating people, right?
Absolutely. My first book that I created, and it came out 3 years ago in July, I felt like I had just scraped the surface of what Nashville had to offer, which is why I decided to do a second book with a new photographer, Manville, who shot 70+ cookbooks. He's a legend in the culinary industry, and sort of target a new demographic of characters is what I call them.
Yeah. So what were you looking for as you selected your people?
I was looking to capture the texture and the diversity and sort of the rhythm that is Nashville beyond Lower Broadway. My first book I focused heavily on the arts and small business community. This book I wanted to focus on community leaders, a lot of people that were involved with the institutions in town, and those that I felt like were really shaping the culture of Nashville. Yeah,
of course food is such a big thing in our town right now, and a couple that you profiled, Andy and Karen Little, have a fascinating story.
Yes, so I actually have always worked in the service industry part-time to fund what I do, which is books. And so I worked for the Littles. I had the pleasure of working for them at their restaurant Josephine, and I was just fascinated by their dynamic. I mean, they're a married couple, but they also run this very professional restaurant environment, so I wanted to know what it was like working together as a couple.
Yeah. Andy's going to be cooking on the show on Thursday, by the way, so if you want to see more about him, he'll be here. Perfect. So Patrick Hayes, who's he?
Patrick Hayes is a gentleman. He's around my age, so he's sort of my millennial for my book. He owns a company called 1767 Designs. So they've done a lot of the design work in really beautiful spaces around town, like the Thompson Hotel. I know that they also did Urban Cowboy B&B, which is in East Nashville. And I was just really fascinated by Patrick because first and foremost, he's just a really smart young entrepreneur, but he also built his business by platforms such as YouTube and Instagram.
Yeah, which seems like the new way to do everything.
I think so, absolutely.
Yeah. You profile someone who's really involved in social justice.
Yes, Zahra Abdullah. She is someone, I would call her a real life hero in my own backyard. I just was really touched by all the work she's done for the Kurdish community. She's been recognized by President Obama, and she was the one who gave me the idea of getting outside of your bubble. We talked heavily about how we can get so stuck in our own worlds, and I think one thing that I do with my books is I cross-pollinate the communities. I go from one section of the city to the other, one industry to the other, and she's someone who's really into not only integrating immigrants in Nashville, but also mixing different walks of life together.
Yeah, you get so much out of the people that you talk to. I bet you have tips for how to get somebody really talking in a conversation.
Listen. I think there's such power in listening, and I think it's become my superpower.
Yeah, I think it is as well. And you've actually chosen one of our favorite folks to be in this book, Wanda Coleman.
Yes, Wanda is wonderful. I would call her a mentor. I met her actually the first time that I was on Talk of the Town 3 years ago, and she, like myself, comes from a pretty modest background and really built her career the grassroots way, and she's been absolutely instrumental in building my own career.
Yeah, I think you'll be fascinated to hear her story and all of the others in this book, too. So many fascinating people. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me.
We really appreciate it. You can find Word of Mouth, more conversations available at local bookstores and retail outlets. We'll have a complete list of locations on our website at News Channel 5, or you can go to wordofmouthconversations.com. We're back with your weather right after this.